6 sports. This is the Dean Trailways 5th quarter.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
It doesn't matter who's on our depth chart. We're going to go out there and we're going to play hard.
We didn't get to finish what we started.
It's okay to not be perfect, but it's not okay to not give great effort.
We're going to be hard-nosed and we're just going to hit kids. Like, we're just going to go.
It's been great effort all summer long, so I think we're just ready to play on Friday nights. I'm just ready to play.
If that doesn't get you fired up for this brand new year of high school football, I don't know what will. Hello and welcome to the 29th season of the Dean Trailways 5th quarter. I'm Audrey Dahlgren, and like we said earlier at the Big House, Nick, we are jacked to be back.
Absolutely, Aud. I am Nick Mantis. Speaking of the Big House, the Wits football team couldn't have asked for a better way to start the season than by playing underneath the lights in Ann Arbor. And the defending Division III champions had zero rust on their gears.
Zero. You know, the Panthers' battle at the Big House against Traverse City Central had to be our big game on opening night. And after ending the season at Ford Field, the Panthers were not afraid at all to air it out in Michigan's house. First quarter, Tyler Holt eluding defenders and fires deep downfield to Bryce Kearns for the touchdown. Panthers up early. And look at that celebration. Tie game now, and Holt gets back to work finding Wisconsin commit Tommy McIntosh. Another deep ball down the field, which we saw a plethora of times last season. Now fast forward to the second half, and it's Holtz finding his favorite target of the night. Kearns made an incredible catch, and he lets you know that was his 4th touchdown of the evening. DeWitt is straight rolling in the Big House. The Trojans would hang tough, but the Panthers would not be stopped. Holtz finds Trent Brandell on the swing pass, who does the rest. A 6 TD night for the Brown commit, Ty Holtz, and the Panthers with a monster win in A squared, 47-27, the final.
I really think we have the same mentality that last year's team had and every team before us, right? We always have a winning attitude, and we always come into the game knowing that we're going to win.
It's unbelievable, right? I mean, the last touchdown was totally him, and the check that he made is just incredible. So that kid is he's special. I mean, I'm biased, but he's the best quarterback in the state of Michigan.
Oh, yeah, he thought he should have got some more offers, too, by the way, from some Division I schools, Power 5 conference schools. Well, anyway, staying with our teams in the CAAC Blue, Holt opened the season tonight against Caledonia, and this was a pretty emotional opener for the Rams.
Yeah, for months, the school has been building its brand new entrance to the stadium, which is named after the late coach Mike Smith. And our Ian Kress was there for the unveiling ceremony. So how was it, E?
Well, all things considered, I'd say it went pretty well, guys. The Rams were able to put the final touches on their new entrance this morning by placing the official Michael Smith Memorial Stadium letters over the entrance. And before the game, Mike Smith's family was honored, and then after that, we were able to catch up with his pride and joy.
We're Mike Smith's grandchildren. Welcome to the 5th quarter.
Just the outpouring of the community and just the people that have really come together to make this all possible. And so it's really special for our family. We can't be happier to see his name be here for all of my nieces and nephews and my kids, you know, to grow up to be able to come back and see his name.
As for the game, the Rams were certainly ready to go in this one. Just ask the mullet man himself, Fletcher Smith. Caledonia struck first, and then on its very next possession, quarterback Mason McKenzie scampers up the middle and turns on the Jets, Jets, a 63-yard touchdown to put the Scots up 14-0. So Chad Folk was looking for some kind of answer, and he found it on the very next play from scrimmage. The ball goes into the hands of Kellen Reed. He shakes off one tackle and says, "See ya, wouldn't want to be ya," to the defense. A 77-yard touchdown that brings the Rams within a score. However, that was as close as this one got. Caledonia near the goal line and goes with the jet sweep into the hands of Justice Reed, who weaves his way into the end zone for 6. McKenzie had over 200 rushing yards in the first half, which leads to a 41-14 win for Caledonia over Holt. Now over to Okemos, where the Mosquitoes were out for blood, just like Gary Houghton's Mason Bulldogs. With time ticking down in the first half, sophomore quarterback Nick Wells has eyes in the corner of the end zone, and sophomore wideout Caleb Parrish comes down with it to give Mason a 44-7 lead at halftime. Wells threw for 85 yards tonight and 2 touchdowns. And then in the second half, it was more of the same for the Bulldogs. Alex Bushy in at quarterback now, and he keeps it himself, cuts right through the defense with ease for another Mason touchdown. The Bulldogs win this one big, 57-7 the final over Okemos. And Grand Ledge was on the road tonight and headed south to take on Coldwater. And the Comets come back to mid-Michigan with a 36-14 win. Grand Ledge will be at home next week to take on Jackson.
Well, with a varsity roster of 43 players, Fowlerville enters the brand new season leaning on its depth. And also, as John Fletcher told us at practice, its defense in 2020.
The Gladiators have 3 returners on that side of the ball, as well as 3 on the offense. And we were there to see them flying around for their season opener against Corunna at their place. And we picked things up in the fourth quarter. Gladiators up by 1, facing a 4th down in the red zone. And senior quarterback Jack Schrader finds Blake Nagofsky in the end zone. Now, what a catch. Fowlerville goes up 20-13. Then on the extra point, it's a bad snap, but the holder Josh Allen makes something out of nothing, just getting across the line. What a heads-up play. And Corunna in desperation mode, under 5 minutes left. Quarterback Jaden Herrick with a heave, but it's picked off by Caleb Shermo. And that seals it for Fowlerville, 22-13 the final. What a way to start the season, huh, Coach?
We've been working so hard all the way dating back to January, and the kids have sacrificed and worked and have taken coaching and have built bonds together, and just credit to them, believing in hard work and believing in each other. That's what we ask, and that's what they did tonight, and that's why we won.
Well, the student section in H-Town tonight couldn't have been more amped for Hazlitt's opener against Jackson. And all the big dogs, like former coach Charlie Otlewski, don't be shy, were in the house to see how the Vikings would do in their first game with their new boss man, Coach Brad Thomas. The running game certainly got off to a nice start. Second quarter, TJ Shansky with the give and go to Nakai Amakri, and the sophomore running back finds his way to the promised land, a 10-yard TD to give Hazlitt a 14-8 lead. And the defense was swarming the Vikings QB just like the mosquitoes in the night. Jacktown with one of his 2 sacks, but Hazlitt turned the ball over 4 times in the second half, and Jackson jumped on the opportunity to win it 22-14 the final. Up 127 north to St. John's, Andy Schmidt and his Red Wings welcome Parma Western to town, and the Panthers QB Nolan Wheeler has an arm on him, drops back into the pocket and launches a bomb to his receiver Cole Wilcox, who somehow makes the catch, and he lets the defender know about it. A couple plays later, it's the exact same connection, Wheeler to Wilcox, and once number 7 gets it, he does the rest. Wilcox scores the game's first points. The Red Wings had a response, though. Quarterback Drew Kinter puts one up for grabs, and Caden Oliver makes the play. The defender actually picked up a pass interference on the play, too, but it wasn't enough. The Panthers get the best of the Red Wings in Week 1 at 22-12. Jordan Morgan's Eastern Quakers made the trek to Flint Hamady, and look who was roaming the sidelines. Former Spartan, a national champion, Mateen Cleaves. The Quakers took control in a hurry. Kyron McKnight gets to the outside with a snap with a finger. Eastern jumps out to a 6-0 lead. Hamady, though, wouldn't hold Eastern for long. Here comes the aftershock. Santiago Trainer airs it out, and Coach Morgan warned us about this. What a catch by McKnight. Then in the opening minutes of the second quarter, Trainer finds Anthony Tyler across the middle, right in the sweet spot. Lansing Eastern shuts out Hamady 36-0.
Well, checking in on another team from the CAAC Red, the Williamston Hornets had to travel to Crosswell, Lexington, and Steve Kirsten's crew would get the job done. They were buzzing on defense. Joey Mahaney and Zach Painter both had pick sixes. Willie wins it 43-20.
All right, it's time for us to take our first timeout.
All right, you're taking my line, but when we come back, we got some rivalry talk to get into.
Yeah, it's a budding rivalry in football. Now it's my time to talk between Olivet and Charlotte. So you know we're going to take you to Oriole Country.
Plus, if you wouldn't be the fifth quarter without checking in on our teams from the CMAC, our first stop led us to Bath, and it's all coming your way right after the break. Refresh your beverage and stay with us.
Welcome back to the Dean Trailways fifth quarter and what looks to be turning into a budding rivalry on the gridiron. Charlotte and Olivet made history last year when they met in football for the very first time. And the Orioles remember it, don't they, Nick?
Oh, don't they? We were there at Charlotte's practice, and the coaching staff kept giving little reminders to the players that the Eagles got the better of them last year. So you knew tonight it was on. Out to Charlotte we go. Both student sections back to full capacity, and they were loud this evening. We pick things up with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Olivet trailing by 1. Quarterback Clay Flowers drops back. His throw goes to the night sky and is picked off by Charlotte's Braden Hill. The Orioles would capitalize on the turnover, handing it off to Devin Eden. He finished it off the drive and barrels in for the touchdown to take a 42-34 lead. In the fourth quarter, the Eagles would chirp back, though, on 4th and 7 from the 10-yard line. Flowers airs it out to Ramsey Busso, who gets his feet down for the touchdown, but Charlotte holds on to win it 49-40, the final. And another AAC team from the white squad, Portland Raiders, took care of business against Olivet LC and closed it a close battle, 21-14, the final. We now turn our attention to the CMAC, where the Bath Bees were buzzing to start a fresh season.
Especially after coming off a great season last year where they made it all the way to the district championship game. Technically, it is fighting bee country, but tonight it was more about fighting off the mosquitoes. We started in the second half, Mount Morris up 20-6 when their running back suddenly coughs it up and the bees are there to scoop it up. And that's quarterback Cole Chamberlain taking the ball back for his offense. But Bath really couldn't get anything going tonight. Mount Morris's wide receiver Brent Wofford makes a nice cut through the defense and almost makes it to the end zone. Before being taken down, they would score a couple of plays later. Bath falls to Mount Morris in its season opener, 36-12, the final.
Now to Perry, where the Ramblers were looking to start things off on a high note against Lanesburg. First quarter, Ramblers down 6, but not for long, as Cody Swain fires a pass to Colton Sanderson, and he would do the rest, breaking away from the defense all the way to the Hizzle-Dizzle McGrizzle, the PAT. That would be good to give Perry the lead, but the Wolfpack would strike back. Late second quarter, Ty Randall hands the ball off to Jack Barnes on the counter and shakes the defender in the backfield, and he is loose. That put the Wolfpack back on top 13-7, and they wouldn't look back as they get the win in this one, 27-9, the final.
Well, out at Jackson Lumen Christi tonight, the Titans were hosting the Hornets of New Lothrop, and we start with a special teams play because of this huge block by the Titans. It's picked up by Ralph Golden. He's returned all the way back to the Casa, an 80-yard touchdown return for Golden for the first points of the game. The Titans student section was going crazy after that play. The Hornets would respond in the second quarter. Quarterback Jack Kulhanek finds Hayden Andres, who keeps his feet in bounds for the 23-yard touchdown, but it was Lumen Christi who would get the last laugh, 27-14, the final.
Well, staying in Division 7, there's a team that Jackson Lumen Christi knows all too well. Back in 2019, Pewamo Westphalia defeated Lumen Christi in Division 7 state championship game, and then it would come to the season with this team. The members of this 2019 team are now leading the way.
We had quite a few sophomores that are now seniors on that team, so we all know what it looks like from all those seniors. They taught us exactly what to do, how close we got to be, and what work ethic we have to put in.
We've got guys with significant experience, and then we've got a very talented junior class and some sophomores that are helping us as well. So the expectations are high that you get ready for the season, and I think that that's what kind of gives us an edge.
Well, the Pirates to take on Redford Union tomorrow should be a good one. All right, it's time for us to take another break, but when we come back, we're talking some Michigan State football, of course.
Yeah, the season is right around the corner, and the Spartans have some fun nicknames for one another that you've got to know about. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back. This time tomorrow, we will be exactly 1 week away from Michigan State football playing its season opener at Northwestern.
Mel Tucker said earlier in the week that the Spartans are no longer in camp mode and have turned all of their attention to the Wildcats. But it's not all business all the time. Throughout fall camp, we have heard the Spartans drop a number of nicknames that they have for one another. Tucker has used the phrase Sugar Weasel to describe sophomore defensive back Angelo Gross, and Xavier Henderson filled us in on what the coaches have been calling freshman cornerback Charles Brantley.
Coach Barnett is really, like, he calls Chuck Wucky, you know what I mean, little Chucky Wucky. And then Coach Tucker, y'all know Coach Tucker likes his nicknames. I don't call Angelo Sugar Weasel or nothing like that, but usually the coaches start them. Or Ronald Williams came up to me the other day and was like, hey, I want y'all to call me Rich Homie right now. It's like, I don't think you're allowed to just come up with your own nickname. You got to have it given to you by somebody else.
That's just a snippet of what's to come on Wednesday night in our live 1 hour countdown to kickoff special, which airs from 7 to 8 p.m. on TV6. And the three of us will be back here tomorrow night to do it all.